Hi everybody! This video is of a quick mini album that I'm doing at the request of AJ Ballet Slippers, or Untitled Chapter, who posted a request for her birthday. And we're just starting by scoring a piece of cardstock weight, double-sided patterned paper at 4 inches. And then we're going to flip it to the other side and score it at 4 inches. And at 8 inches. So you have 3 folds. You have the bottom third folded up and then folded into thirds. So you can see how it's folded there. Now I'm using a pair of scissors to cut halfway through the first fold, the first score, and I'm folding over the tabs. And then for the last fold, I'm just folding it over. And that's going to give it a little bit more interest. Now, I'm taking some brown cardstock, and each of these cardstock squares are 3.5 by 3.5, which will give a 1/4 inch border all the way around. And how I'm going to get them folded under is I took the cardstock square and put it over and used a ruler to mark where the fold line was and then cut that off. And the piece that you're left with after you cut it will perfectly fit the folded over part. So I'm just cutting some coordinating pattern paper to put on the little brown cardstock. And it's going to be 3.25 by 3.25, so that it'll fit the 3.5 by 3.5 inch piece of cardstock, with an 8 inch border all the way around. And then I'm going to trim and I'm going to adhere it. And then fold it over. See? And then because you don't have to fold 3 layers of paper, it folds much easier. And now I'm adhering the extra little bit. And I'm taking my 1/16 inch hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole to put a brad. And I'm just using a white brad. And then I'm going to stick the fold down with glue dots. Okay? And I've decided I want my tags inked. And my tags are 3.25 inches by 5.5 inches. These are the large tags from the Creative Cafe. So I just bought them. But if you wanted to make the tags, they're 3.25 inches by 5.5 inches, and they're the perfect size for this project. And I'm just inking their edges in chestnut roan. And the patterned paper that I'm using, the green and white sheet, is from My Mind's Eye, from Bella Boulevard collection, I believe. And the blue that I'm using is from Basic Gray, from the Gypsy collection, which is a pretty old collection. And I just grabbed it from my stash. And so now I'm just inking all over. You know, I felt like these papers really worked well with a heavy inking. And so I'm just going to go ahead and ink all the folds. Give it a nice distressed look. A nice aged look. Okay, so just continuing on, again, that brown piece is 3.5 by 3.5, and I'm lining the ruler up with the fold and marking where the fold is, and then just cutting it with scissors. And keep the piece you cut off, because it will fit the flap of the fold perfectly. So the blue pattern paper is 3.25 by 3.25, just trimming the excess where it hangs over the edge. And gluing it down. And then there's that piece of blue. I'm going to stick on the brown cardstock scrap. And I'm making sure that there's glue all over the paper so that there's no chance that the little edges will flip up or anything like that. And I'm actually burnishing with a bone folder because I want to make sure it's nice and tight so that the little edges really don't flip up at all. And now I'm putting a brad, and again I'm going to hold the flap down with glue dots. And you could put photos here on these pockets if you wanted to. You know, you don't have to make flaps. You could add some more photos to those. Here you see lining it up, making my mark, and then cutting it off. And then just make sure that you get adhesive all over the blue so that it will stick. Particularly the four sides so that as it gets handled it won't peel up from the brown. Okay, so this is the brown that we trimmed off. We're going to put some of the blue on it. I really loved how the blue and the brown and the green worked together. This is a really nice color combination. Okay, so putting our brad and then adding the glue dots. And that's the basic album. I mean, that's it, pretty much. Now I'm just using a thin, this is the Zig two-way glue from EK Success, and I'm putting it on the score lines and on the outside edges so that it will make pockets. And I'm just burnishing with the bone folder to make sure that there's some good contact there. And now I am going to put some photo mats on the tags, and since my tags are 3 1/4 by 5 1/2, I made my photo pockets 2 3/4 by 5, and that fills up the tag nicely, I think. And I'm putting one on each side, and then I'm going to fill some of them with photos, and some of them I'll put grid paper and do journaling. Or maybe I'll do one photo and one journaling spot on each tag. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this album yet. But it's a fun, quick little album, and it would be great for a gift for someone, I think. Because it's not too time consuming, it doesn't use too many supplies, but it looks great. Okay. So now they go in the pockets like so, and you could add ribbon. I didn't want mine to be too bulky, so just checking the folds. And I'm actually going to figure out how I want to bind it. I'm just going to bind it with a ribbon and some eyelets. So I'm folding it shut and using my Crop-A-Dile to punch through all of the seams at once. You see there's one on the left and then one on either side of the right. And I'm going to use an eyelet to reinforce the holes. Now, I had some problems with these eyelets. They're bad quality. I got a bad batch, so I'm just going to skip me messing with them and go straight to the ribbon. And I tied a knot in the ribbon and put it through the eyelet on the very left edge, and then I put it through the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck the tags behind the ribbon and then just wrap the ribbon around and tuck it under. And there is the album. See? Very nice. I like it a lot. So I'm actually going to slow it down and do a close-up. So here it is with the ribbon, and then you just can pull it out. And you see how easily it opens and closes. That's the album. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks so much for watching.